Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get uncensored. We've got the one, the only, my fellow Howard University alum, Yandy in the building.
Woo!
Everyone's talking about your uncensored. We got to get into it.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Hey Bison, how you doing?
I'm living the dream. I can't complain one bit. I'm in DC, so I can't complain.
Good.
She's happy.
You're good.
And I'm happy. I'm excited about your Uncensored. And how did you feel about it when they reached out to you and even asked you to do it?
I felt honored. I mean, I know the caliber of people they have on those shows. And Lore'l, you know me. I never feel famous or like I'm a superstar. So I'm like, y'all want who? Y'all want who? And I'm looking at the other cast. I'm like, y'all got Tyrese. Y'all got Eve. Y'all got all these amazing. Y'all got Debbie Allen. And y'all want me? So I was honored. I'm humbled. I watched the episode last night. It was amazing. It made my story sound real interesting. I was like, wow, I always got a job. Sound like I'm always doing something fun. So it was great. It was really, really good and really put together well.
What I liked about it was that, people see the glory, but they never know the story. And you had some stories to tell.
That's right.
Especially like how you even got into the industry. I think you, me, Lore'l, we can all relate to the amount of persistence that it takes to try to get that first opportunity. Can we talk a little bit about just that hustle? You know, the Howard Bison hustle is real because we got to use everything at our resources.
The hustle to get into them clubs and we ain't had we ain't have that $65 entry fee. I learned to hustle there. But I tell the story all the time. I literally had to beg with a college degree, and I graduated from Howard with honors. I begged to go in and clean Mona's office. And that's where it started. I knew that once I got in the doors, that I knew that my personality, my tenacity, and everything else would take me further, but I needed to get in those doors. And what she needed, because I saw her office and I saw her desk, was someone to come in and clean. So I started out as an intern, like the assistant's intern. And I was cleaning her office, organizing her CDs, and then I started answering phones. And even with that, everything had to be precise. I'm like, your office ain't never been neat. Now I come here, you got a certain order. You want the CDs? The CDs in this little cubby. All right, Mona, fine. But you know, I was like, I'm gonna be the best damn CD organizer this woman has ever seen, because maybe after I graduate from CD organizing, I could answer the phones.
Right.
But once I got to the phones, that's when it was over. I was able to take down contact information. I was able to take down, important people names, and I took notes. I still got notes from when I was Mona's intern in this phone that I've transferred over throughout the years. And I think it's been that has been crucial to my career and the start of my path.
You know what else I thought was cool? That like you spoke to her in the middle of it and of you interviewing, and she was like, well, who are you doing it for? Who is it on? And you're like, it's for me. And I thought that was really dope, because to talk about from the beginning when you got the book just to relate to the assistant, you know what I mean? I just saw the progression, and I'm sure everybody else did. And like you said, certain things that even I didn't know. And me and you are friends, and I didn't even know some of these stories. How does it feel now, being able to work alongside Mona and knowing that, like, you did grow into this businesswoman and above that intern?
You know what? No matter how much money I make, no matter how many deals I close, Mona will always and forever look at me as her intern or her assistant. And that was a prime example. When she called, she needed me to check on something or do something for her. And she's like, so what are you doing? Because I need you to get involved. I need you to do this for me real quick. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of my Uncensored interview, Mona. And she's like, well, who is it for? Well, call me when it's done. And she's like, matter of fact, can you stop real quick? And I'm like, okay, give me 1 second. Let me see what else she needs. And she's owed that respect from me, because honestly, I would not have ever known as much as I know in this industry if she didn't give me that chance and let me in the doors and then trust me with so much. I mean, she trusted me to go, okay, so Skylar just walked in, and when Skylar walks in, it's like, so Skylar, I'm gonna kindly ask you to take this kiss. Okay.
Hey!
Okay, great, thanks. Okay, go see where Dad is.
Look at the puppy.
So
So
you know, I
cute.
think that I'm in the middle. That's fine. I'm in the middle of an interview. Okay. Okay. So we have a big old moving truck and we're blocking traffic. So she's calling to tell me about the same one that's been out there. Like, all right, hurry up and move this along. Close the door behind you. Thanks. Love you.
She said it like they was coming for you. She's like, it's the cop outside waiting for you.
Well, she's not here, so it's the same one that's been there all day. Open up traffic on the block. So, what was I saying? But yes, I appreciate her. So she's probably one of the only people that can stop me in my tracks for me to take a call, help her with whatever she needs. And that's just kind of been our relationship. So I think that, you know, recognizing and paying homage to the people that helped you get where you are is important. And I think that's really been something that's helped me in this business, you know, just maintaining relationships and great relationships at that.
Right. You know, I got different views on Mona now. I respect her as a businesswoman, but when it comes to like the TV side of things, you already know I don't agree with her on like pretty much anything. But I do.
You know, with anything?
Not one thing.
Not a bit.
One thing.
You know what I think is amazing? It's dope that there's a platform for, you know, some artists and stuff that may not have been able to circulate their music and stuff like that to get, you know, in that position if they let you play your real music that you have. Versus like the music that they kind of want you to put together. But I do feel like, shout out to the fact that Cardi B, and there has been a lot of like great talent that has come from the show. So I can respect that. And I do think that they put a light on people like you that was able to let you shine, or like even me to give me an opportunity. It may not have went the way that I was told it was going to really go, but has that ever happened with you with Mona, which I'm asking you because I might, you know, already know the answer to this, but like, you know, has there ever been a point where you had to pull her to the side and be like, you went too far?
There's been many pull to the side moments with Mona. And not just Mona, many of the producers, because I feel like there are salacious stories and then there's stories that are made to be salacious because you edit certain things out, or you play something first when you know that something else happened. And so I absolutely have had many of those moments. And I think, and this is not me protecting Mona, but I think in a lot of ways, Mona's hands are tied because there is still a network that has final decisions on where the stories go and what they want to follow, right? So even when there was a situation when I didn't sign my marriage paperwork, right away.
Right.
The first day I shot the show, when I came back, I had a scene with Kim Bella, and I said, Kim, me and her went through something, and I'm like, you weren't there for me. And I said, you don't even know what I went through the night before my wedding because you were nowhere to be found. Mm-hmm. And I told her, and when I told her that very first day of shooting, the producers, Mona, Steph, everybody found out for the first time. They were like, and for me to even say that, I said it with tears in my eyes, like I couldn't even sign because the lawyer said I might face this, or you know, if he has to pay damages, I would be partially. And in that moment, it would have been great for them to put that out in the first episode, but they held that and they didn't play it until the 8th episode. But somehow to the blogs, it leaked, and it made it seem like, oh, Yandy's a fronter, Yandy's a liar, Yandy, and I was so angry. I'm like, I told everybody this girl didn't expose that, or this group of girls didn't expose. I told y'all. Right. Y'all went and told them. And y'all made it for a salacious story. Y'all made it seem like they broke the news. Y'all knew because I told y'all my very first time shooting. And I'm like, y'all made this like it was a salacious story, but it wasn't. I had every right to feel like, let me protect my home, let me protect my money, and let me make sure my husband is good before we actually send those papers off. Yeah,
because they made it seem like you faked the wedding.
But that was great.
Not wedding, the marriage.
That was great for this talk show. That was great for that talk show. That was great for this blog. And that came out the same exact week that the show was airing. And then the promos was all like, so you didn't sign the papers? And I'm like, where's the episode? Where's the first episode when I told y'all that? why is this episode coming out in the trailer, but it's not for episodes down to make it look like I was exposed or like I was lying or hiding? So those are some of the things they do, which can totally change the narrative of who you are, right? I've never been a liar. I've never had to steal no money from nobody. I'm still living off money I made when I was managing artists.
Yeah, you said, but you still got bowling money. You said on Uncensored.
So I never have to fake it to get money from a wedding. And this is the person I'm still with. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna fake it, then you're gonna break up the minute you get the check. So all of that I felt like was so damaging to my marriage. I felt like it was damaging to who I am. And I had to really deal with a lot of horrible comments based on that. And that was one of those pulled to the side, like, why? What was the point? And, you know, those moments, you know, we deal with, we talk through, and we get past them, we get over it. And just like she's had to deal with things that I've said, I feel like we both have had to deal with things, but it doesn't change what she's been to me in this business. It doesn't change what she's done to me in this industry. And also, in those moments when a network sees like, oh my gosh, this story could be salacious, or this could help us, you know, get ratings for our first week. Let's drag this out. Let's take this episode, put it to the back end, but let's leak this to the blogs. It's not totally her decision. And, you know, I have to understand that and respect what I signed up for.
And I wanted to ask you about that though, Yandy, because like when you look at Mona Scott and even yourself, you guys are now, she's brought a lot of money into the company. So I feel like having that seat at the table, we talk, so much conversation now is around having a seat at the table. A lot of protests that are happening right now is like, we need to be at this table. And it's like, when I look at Mona Scott, I'm like, if anybody should be at the table making the most decisions or making all decisions, having complete control, it should be her. Can you speak to just from a business standpoint, what does need to happen to really be at the table? Like, as opposed to like, yeah, I got a lot of control, I've got a lot of free leeway, but I'm still not, there's still this like over
somebody above you
that's like still making decisions, especially considering her success of so many of these shows.
Absolutely. See, there's levels to this, right? So there is Mona Me Entertainment, then there's been Eastern, or there's been Big Fish, then there's been the network, there's been Viacom. Every level, they can make decisions on what stories they want to follow, what gets edited out. A lot of your storytelling happens in that story room and with the editors. And one thing that I think has been an issue for some time for me is a lot of the people in that editing room don't look like me.
Right.
They don't get my jokes. They don't understand how certain things are degrading to me, degrading to my culture.
Right.
Stereotypical to who he's just gonna peek his head and not say hi. I saw that. He's probably standing on the outside of the door like, oh wait, I'm gonna do that. But there's certain things that's like you would not understand this narrative you decided to carry out, like the baby mama story and trying to make it look like it was several different people in a relationship at the same time. That's something that's gone on too long, that Black men have had to have this picture painted that they're not great fathers, that they always date multiple women, and if you're not in this community and you're editing and you're like, oh, this story looks good, or let's cut this out, or let's make it look like this. You don't understand how damaging that is for my community. You don't understand how damaging that is for my relationship, or even amongst my family. And people don't get that when they're editing these shows and they haven't dealt with that in their community, or they haven't had to live through these stereotypes, and they've worked hard to make sure like, nah, this is what I want to be seen. This is who I am, and this is what I want the world to know. But instead, it looks good to make it look like this, because that's already the narrative out there about Black men. Right. So things like that bothered me, because I'm like, we need more people in editing and in post that understand and relate to these stories, and they get the jokes, or they get the things that might be degrading, or they get the cultural things that they need to stay away from that's not cute to play with. And I think that, you know, with the climate of where we are as a nation, I think now VH1 is diligently working on changing those things. And I hope so. You know, I am officially a free agent. My contract ended with...
Wait. What does that mean? I don't even believe you, Yandy.
No, my contract is over. So
like, you're not signed right now to renew the next season.
Signed to VH1. My daughter feels like it's important for you guys to see her dog. I am not officially signed to VH1. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
No, like for like at least one day.
No. Absolutely not.
Mom, you know how much this means?
Okay,
please.
can I finish this? Come here. Can you leave and close the door? This is what I was trying to hide.
This is beautiful.
No matter what.
I think that dogs should be able to stay. This is ridiculous.
I have these two that I have to do. You think I can take a dog as well? Nothing.
Well, like that gives them something to
We
do.
already have one dog and he's in training, so what's the point? We might as well just get him out.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we know whose child that is.
I think your dad is calling you.
He made a good argument, I think.
Yeah, he needs to be a lawyer. He always has a good argument.
Please.
So I'm here. Let me finish this and then I'll be back.
Mom,
Okay, sure. Whatever you want. Yes.
Bro?
Yes.
Bro?
Yes.
Bro?
Mhm.
Bro?
Yeah, this doesn't sound too promising when she.
Okay. So back to what I was saying.
Can I really go?
Amir, I am going to, in 5 seconds, count to 3. You know what happens at the 3. It will happen with the camera rolling or the camera not
Uh-oh.
rolling.
Let me turn my camera off because I know what happened.
Look at me. I'm like,
Now I'm going to go to 2. Close the door behind you on 3. Thank you.
damn, Angie, she ain't even get there yet.
I was praying for the young
Lord,
man.
have mercy. Okay, so I don't even know what I was saying, but I think that it's important for you to go in there with the narrative that you want and then just be diligent at trying to stay on course because you have all kind of things thrown at you. As you know, Lore'l,
Yes.
they'll put a fake beef in your face. You'll be like, you don't like me. I don't even know you.
Or I just seen you 100 times and you never expressed this any other time.
But what happens is the producers know that this person want to be in scenes. When you want to get in this scene, make sure you make
You want to get this check this week? You better throw something.
You better do something. And you know,
Is this why you're a free agent now? Is this why you're a free agent now?
You know what? I'm a free agent because my contract is officially up, and I am, I'm definitely in speaks about renegotiation, but I'm also in speaks about some other opportunities as well. So we gonna see what happens.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen. But like for you, even with Angie bringing up the having a seat at the table, one thing, and we love TV One, obviously, but one thing I did miss from the whole documentary was the fact that it didn't really touch on your activism. And I know that's something that's a little bit more new to the situation. So I want to give you
We did talk about it, but I think that there was so much they could fit in.
in an hour.
Speak about it.
Right.
And probably because right now you see it so much, I think they wanted to stick to the stuff you didn't see, the stories you don't know, the things you didn't hear about. So they really kept it to the stuff that you never heard on TV or you didn't see. Like they didn't go too far in with what episodes you see of Love and Hip Hop or the things that they showed on the show. But they talk about my childhood, they talk about my upbringing, they talked about, the balling record and some of the things that you may not know with me and my management stuff. So I think that they did a great job. But yes, activism is who I've been. When I realized I had this platform and I've always felt like I'm not here to be famous. I'm really not the famous type. I'm really a regular girl. I raise my kids. I clean my own house, take care of my husband as he takes care of me. I'm super regular. But I realized that I was given this platform because it is my job now to amplify the voices of marginalized communities. That is solely the reason. It's not because, I drive fancy cars, live in fancy house. All of that is nonsense. My purpose is to amplify those voices. And I think that the show finally this season did me justice and, some of the prison reform work that I do, but I've always done it. I've been doing it for years now. I put up a video not so long ago when I was marching for Sandra Bland. It was the day after we found out that she was murdered. I'll say that again, that she was murdered. And I'm like, dang, like I wish the show was covering stuff like this back then, And I just feel like this is the reason why. I'm not here to be famous or, for a certain amount of time, I thought that I was on Love Hip Hop to break artists. That's not my purpose. And I think now I'm starting to realize I have all these followers because I'm supposed to use this as a way to spread the message.
Yeah, I remember when that one video went viral when you was in front of the prison and they cut off the lights, the power, and it was freezing.
Yes.
And I believe the cop kind of like pushed you down in the street and everybody went crazy. And I do think that even though I know you were doing things around that, I think that might have been that moment where it was like, okay, you know, Yandy done crossed over to being like a voice, you know, and then you linked up with Tamika Mallory. Now, she's somebody that we spoke with her on the Morning Hustle show, and we love her. Like, she's a very great voice to have out there. And we talked about protecting Tamika because obviously, you know, that once you get a certain, you know, voice, is there ever like a fear that you have, like when there's, cause you know, obviously y'all are targets, you know, the fact that you do speak out is, you know, has there ever been a fear where you were like really actually scared?
I fear for Tamika every day. Right now, she's actually living in Kentucky. That's one of my best friends, and I'm constantly praying for her. We've been close for some time. People think we linked up after the prison thing because that's when they really started to see us together, but we've been close for some time. She gets death threats daily. We manage her, so our emails are connected to hers. I mean, filled with death threats every single day.
Disgusting.
The most horrific things people will say about her children, you know, all kind of things. But the fight continues, you know. I think for me, I'm shielded. My emails go to someone else. I can't take it because I'll be scared to death.
Yeah.
But I don't see those emails. But I think that for me, this is important, you know, and I've made a decision that I want to see change for my children. And there's nothing that's going to stop me. Even if I did see death threats every day, you would not be able to stop me from wanting this world to be better for my children. And if anything I do today can change one law or that can affect their lives when they go to school, when they leave, or when they have to graduate and work, one thing can affect their lives, I'm willing to do it. And that not much is going to stop me from doing that.
Absolutely. Yandy, we appreciate you for taking the time out,
So
joining
much.
the Morning Hustle, Uncensored TV1. It's an awesome story you have. I just want you to leave a little motivation, though, for young women who are trying to get into industries that a lot of times are male dominated. And I think the moral of the story when I watched Uncensored for you is just controlling your own narrative and what that looks like.
Absolutely.
And the value and the importance of controlling your own narrative. But a lot of times, like, you know, people will take things and run and make assumptions and things. So what encouragement or what words of motivation would you give that young woman who watches you, who's been watching you and is like you? They don't want to be the star. They would love to do management, but maybe don't know how to go about it or don't know how to, you know, necessarily control their narrative as they're trying to navigate. What'd you tell them?
I think it's important for young women to understand in these male dominated spaces, they need you. Us women, we are the fabric, we are the nucleus of everything that's great. And I think that when you walk into the room and you understand how needed and how worthy you are, you walk in a little different. You stand a little bit taller. Those 6-inch heels that will heighten you over any man. And I think that
That's right.
To get in there and just know your power. It's male dominated. They can't do anything without us. They can't. We have a protest tomorrow. It's called A Day Without Black Women. Honey, when you walk into those rooms, just know that you are needed. And when you go in, you know that everything you say, if they don't applaud you, that you be like, yep, that's right. And you be talking to yourself. And I think it's so important.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. But then also when you get into these spaces, you want to make sure that your integrity and your morale speaks for itself, because you will be tried. I've been tested a million times. And I think that it was important for me to set from the ground, like where my integrity is, what my morale is, so people understood, like, stop playing with me. I'm not playing with you in this. And I think sometimes, you know, we're afraid to say certain things, or we're afraid to put a hold on certain relationships or certain movements, but we have to. Because
Right.
One thing that you do on your intern days or your assistant days, or when you're a junior manager, will be remembered when you're that top executive. And these stories, they travel with you. So you want to make sure that you understand your morale and whatever that may be. You know, my morale might not be yours. You may be willing to do some things that I'm not, or I may be willing to do some things that you're not willing. Just know that. Be comfortable with it. Be bold in it, and step in a path that you are confident with that.
Right.
And I think those are important as women in this space. Know your ish. Get in there. Be confident, and then have your own set of morals and integrity that you will not falter on. That's it.
Yeah. When
Are you
go
going
to
to tell
the,
us? Okay.
I was just gonna ask, when you go to the negotiation table with Mona and VH1, how do you negotiate? What's your rule of thumb in negotiating?
I'm very clear on my worth. I'm very clear on what I bring to the table, and I think I'm as much as I don't necessarily agree that I'm famous or anything like that. I know what I bring to the table, and I know that I have a very different voice than many voices that are present on the show. Yeah. So I want a nice round, bubble-ish number. I just want it round, like very round.
Round.
I'm just gonna say round, like a lot of zeros. I want that.
But you are sure that you want to return to the show and not try to do your own thing without.
I'm not sure. You know what? Honestly, Yell Skincare is giving me beautiful round numbers right now, and that's something that I own.
Yeah,
awesome.
100% to me, my family. I ain't got to split that with nothing, and no producers, no,
right.
Wow,
no nothing.
Come on.
So, you know, there's even a part of me that says maybe you should bet on yourself 100% and just focus on.
Are you gonna sink or swim, Yandy? Because there's only.
Hello. Now, but let me tell you this. It's also amazing knowing, like, okay, so I got 15 episodes under my belt. I know that I make this many grand per episode. I got and I got my business.
Right.
So either way, it's a win-win situation. We just got a warehouse right now in Atlanta because I can't keep all this stuff in my office anymore. So it's
congratulations. That's big.
Absolutely.
That's real big.
So I'm excited either way, but I'll keep you posted on what I decide.
Okay.
But y'all got the exclusive.
And babies, because we know you pop out them babies. No babies on the way?
What? Heck no.
Because you know how it go. We get off the phone with you and tomorrow you announce it. Oh, matter of fact. And they'll be like, damn, she didn't tell us.
No. You saw Skylar come in here? Every time I look at her and I'm in an interview, she do sound like birth control.
And that's that on that.
That's what you got to promote out here, birth control. My last question for you is going to be, are you going to let us know who that G-Unit artist was?
It wasn't a G-Unit artist. It was an executive. The G-Unit artist, I was with them.
Okay.
Me and my girl Tiffany were in the back of the bus, we were playing cards, and the executive was like, I see you at the back of the bus. It was ugly. It was nasty. I was hurt. I'm like, me? You thought what was happening? Not I.
Well, at least he got checked, so that's all that mattered.
Definitely a dope
Big
story.
bro came through.
God bless. R.I.P. Chris Lighty forever and always.
Yeah. Well, Yandy, thank you so much for the time.
So much.
Much love to you. Blessings on those round numbers.
I'll see you guys in person very soon.
We are the Morning Hustle.